Are your kids refusing anything you put on their plate? I'm gonna share with you 10 food hacks for picky eaters. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, click that button down below. Don't forget to ring that notification bell so you don't miss out on a future video I post here every single week. Let's hop right into it. When I have no idea what to make for lunch or dinner, you know what I do? A snack plate. This is the easiest meal. You don't even need to cook anything. You can do a cold snack plate, cut up some fruit, some cheese, some crackers, you know, get creative with it, have fun, and boom, dinner is done. And I feel like they have lots of options to play around with. So even if they're picky, they'll find something on there that they hopefully like and maybe even try something new that they haven't had before. This is a great time to sneak in something new. Adding on to the snack plate, another thing I've been doing recently with my 2-year-old is showing her different food combinations and also letting her do it herself so she's more likely to actually take a bite. I did this the other day by showing her with some almond flour crackers, adding on things like cheese, turkey, we sprinkled on some nutritional yeast, some sesame seeds, mashed avocado. Not only did she think it was really fun to like sprinkle and get creative, but she also loved the taste combinations. She was so excited. She wanted more avocado, more sesame seeds. And these are things that I bet if I had put it on before her, she'd be like, what are these little black seeds? I don't want anything to do with it. This goes the same for say taco night or pizza night. Have your kids add on different toppings. They can see it being baked and they're probably gonna be a lot more likely to take a bite and see what it tastes like. I'm sure I've mentioned this before, but play with their food. If they are at the dinner table and they don't want anything to do with what's on their plate, have fun with it. Maybe pick up broccoli and say, you know, ooh, like, is there a dinosaur that wants to eat the broccoli? Or is there, I don't know, like a little birdie in the tree? And like actually play around with it and have them interact with their food. I know everyone says like food is not for playing, but like sometimes it is. And also if it means that they're gonna try it and take a bite, then by all means, play with your food. I don't care. These are all things I've put into practice multiple times. The other day, she didn't want to eat anything that was on her plate. And so we played around with her food for a little bit. I asked her to give mommy a bite and then she would take a bite. We would cheers and we would just have a fun time. And honestly, even if that means them having a few bites as opposed to nothing, it's worth it for me. We are knee deep in the picky eating stage right now in our household, and it is a challenge every day, I swear, to introduce new foods, even introduce the foods that I swear she just loved yesterday. Like every day is a new day and she just decides what she now likes and what she doesn't like. So I really am trying to, you know, navigate this so we're not creating a child that only wants to eat beige food with no flavor at all. So the other day I was actually making tacos and I wanted to have some guacamole on the side. And I didn't want just plain mashed avocado. That's boring. So what I did, she was also having a meltdown. So I was gonna do like a 2-for-1. I was like, okay, let's get you helping mommy in the kitchen. I was by myself this night and I set her up with her cutting board, her toddler knives, the avocado, because it's a great food for them to learn to cut. And I had like her sides. I chopped up cilantro, we had some fresh limes, some salt, and she actually helped make the guacamole. I'm telling you, she put the cilantro in. So like the guacamole had chunks of green leafy bits in it and she thought it was delicious. Like she actually wanted to try it out. And then when it came to making her taco, you know, I loaded up her hard shell taco with the ground beef and the black beans. This recipe will probably be in the toddler ebook, so stay tuned. And we slopped on that delicious, super loaded guacamole, and she was like licking all the guacamole out. She wanted extras. She ate the taco too. Last time we did taco night, she wanted nothing to do with the ground beef. She just wanted to eat the shells, and this time she actually ate the whole thing. She, I kid you not, pushed her high chair to the kitchen table. Are you kidding me? What? This stuff works, guys. Get your kids involved in the kitchen. They are way more likely to eat the food that you're making if they feel involved in it, and they're even more excited to eat it. I have never seen her be so excited for taco night. I mean, I love taco night, but like sometimes she don't. If you are struggling on what to actually make and serve for your kiddos, I got you covered. The Baby HealthNut Cookbook is a digital cookbook filled with all of the recipes that I started feeding my daughter when she first started solids. I also have a bunch of tips and tricks in there, as well as my grocery list guide and some extras for purees and baby-led weaning. When I first started cooking for my daughter, I was so overwhelmed. Even as a cookbook author, I didn't know where to start. All of my tips and tricks and foolproof recipes are in this book. Thousands of parents have already purchased a copy. We have so many 5-star glowing reviews, and I know you and your family are going to love it. I'm gonna have a link down below so you guys can check out more information about it and pick up your copy today. This went crazy when I first shared about it on my TikTok account, and basically it is a snack container that you can put multiple different foods in it. It has multiple dividers in it, so you can do like wet and dry foods and they won't get soggy. And what's really great about it is that it has this big button in the middle that your kids can actually press and pick what they want to eat. This little flap opens up and you press it. I don't know who loves this more, me or my daughter, but it's a great container. It's super easy to clean and take apart, and it all goes in the dishwasher. This is so great on the go. Even at home, it's great because they can have a variety of different snacks. They're choosing what they eat, and they might even eat a new item that's in there. Love this thing. I'll link it below. If you can't find one of those snack containers, you could do the same thing with an ice cube tray. This one has a lid as well, so great for travel. But same idea, you put different food items in each compartment and they can choose and pick, and it just keeps them more interested in what they're snacking on. I'll link both of them in the blog post down below. If you want to be one of those cool Pinterest moms, but you're like, I don't have time for that, all you need is one of these yogurt like snack pouches, and you're gonna do little dollops on a baking sheet lined with parchment paper, pop this in the fridge, and you have easy homemade little frozen yogurt drop melts. And these are so fun to eat. They're also just a refreshing snack, and you are now a cool Pinterest mom that all you did was plop, 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 no blending needed. I don't know about you, but our 2-year-old loves to attack the fruit bowl, and one of her go-tos are bananas. And now the thing about bananas, when they're ripe, say you go to pull one, sometimes they end up just like pulling the stems off 3 of them just to get one, and now you have 3 open bananas that, yes, you can peel them and freeze them for smoothies, but instead what I like to do is just go ahead and separate them, so that way if they go in and grab one banana, it's not gonna rip the stem off all the other ones. And if you didn't watch my food waste hacks video, this is also a great way to help extend the life of your bananas if you separate them, because then they don't ripen as fast. Extra tip for you guys. Also, how do your kids like to eat their bananas? Every day is different in our house. Sometimes she wants the skin on so she can hold it. Sometimes she wants it sliced into like spears. Other times it's like peeled with no skin. I don't know, I'm always trying to get it right because she's very particular, but I just need to know, how do your kids eat their bananas? I'm sure I've mentioned this before, but don't underestimate scissors. We have kitchen scissors. They're only for the kitchen. Don't be spreading them around the house or opening packages with them. These are perfect for cutting your little ones' foods, especially like spaghetti or meat or really anything. I mean, it just makes it so much easier to just go in there and snip, 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 and you don't even have to get a cutting board if you don't want to. So get yourself some kitchen shears, and it's just gonna save you so much time. This next tip has saved us so many meltdowns, let me tell you. I don't know about your kids, but unless mine sees the empty package, that it is in fact empty, she's like, more, more, more. And yes, our daughter knows sign language and it's great, but also drives me nuts because she knows how to communicate. And I'm like, yes, I understand you want more, but there's literally no more to give you. And I find what really helps her like understand that is if I give her the empty packet. Even if there is more and I just don't want to give her a full bag of snacks to eat like right before dinner time, I will take out a portion of them, leave in what I want to serve her, and then I'm like, here you go, when it's done, it's done. Because there's been times I've thrown out the bag and she goes to the garbage can, I kid you not, to see that in fact the bag is empty. Like, why would I throw it out if it wasn't empty? But seriously, works every time. I'm like, look, it's done, all done. And then she comes to terms with the fact that her favorite snack is no longer. A lot of times it's just trying to get creative to communicate to them in a way that they understand. This is called the no bowl method. And we actually have a bunch of bowls from when Sage was little. We don't really use them that much, maybe for cereal once in a while. She's just not much of a soup eater. But what we do use them for is having them at the dinner table. So she has her main dish and I simply put a bowl in the corner and I tell her, this is your no bowl. If you don't like something, you can put it in the no bowl. And this helps avoid food on the floor that she doesn't like. Because let me tell you, kids are so quick to be like, I don't like this on the floor. And our 2-year-old puts everything she doesn't like on the floor. It's like it cannot be on her plate or anywhere near her plate. So instead I say, okay, if you don't want to eat that, put it in your no bowl. And it just gives them a place to put it in that's like not their plate, but it's also not the floor for mom and dad to clean up. And this takes a little bit for them to get used to the concept, but you can show them like, ooh, I don't want this, it goes in my no bowl. And like, obviously you don't want to encourage them being like, no, I don't like this, but I would much rather her put it in her no bowl than on the floor for me to clean up later. I hope these tips help you navigate the picky eating stage, whether that's 2, 3, 6, 10 years old. I feel like some kids are just picky up until adult life. My goal is to help you create adventurous eaters that actually love discovering new flavors and colors and textures when it comes to food. I hope you try out some of these tips. I also have other videos with more food hacks for picky eaters. I will link down below for you guys. Also, don't forget to grab a copy of the Baby HealthNut Cookbook for tons of recipes and tips and tricks on feeding your kiddos. I hope you guys have a fabulous day. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.